Welcome to the Money for Dads podcast. This is your host, Adam Katz. This podcast is for dads like you and me who want to save on everything, stretch your paycheck, and spend more time with your family. I don't want you or your spouse to be forced anymore to pick up extra shifts, take second jobs, work overtime, or sacrifice necessities just to pay your bills. I want you to be able to choose how you spend your time while giving your kids the most amazing childhoods possible. And that's why I created this podcast. On today's episode of the Money for Dads podcast, I want to talk about unclaimed funds. It's money that's owed to you that you haven't found yet. This might seem too good to be true, but it's totally not. Before I tell you where this money comes from, I'll just tell you that I have found money for myself and claimed it and collected it. I've found thousands of dollars for family members and friends, and it's really amazing. It's money that's just owed to you, and you can find it. For myself, I've found money from Friendlies when I was an ice cream scooper in high school. I also found money from a closed bank account for myself, about $275. Where does this money come from? For me, you saw that it came from a job many years ago and a closed account. That was actually a business account. For you, it could be anything. It could be from inactive stock or brokerage accounts, unclaimed safety deposit boxes, or uncashed checks even. If some entity ever owed you money and they couldn't find you, then what happens with this money is that it's turned over to the state. The state then holds it for you, and it's then your job to go and find it. And that's what this podcast is about today, telling you that you may have money because many people do, might not be a lot, or it might be a lot, and I want to help you find it. You know, I love this resource because this whole idea just seems so fake, but I've been able to just call family members and say, hey, I went on this website and I found you $1,000. So it's really an amazing call to make, and I've got to make that call a couple times, not always for such a high amount. You know, I've seen the amounts $3 or so. I actually have $3 from GoDaddy awaiting my claim, but I won't submit for it because it's not really worth my time to go collect $3.28. But it really can be for any amount, and it's definitely worth your time to go check. It can't hurt. These are all government entities that are holding this funding for you. And the website that you can search on is a legitimate website. If you're interested in finding out if you have unclaimed funds, then visit my website, moneyfordads.com, and in the starter kit will be a link to a website that has all the information you'll need to be able to find and claim this money. So here's to you, and hopefully you have some money just waiting for you to claim. Thank you so much for listening to my podcast. To help you get started on your journey to stretch your income, save on everything, and spend more time with your family, you should visit my website, moneyfordads.com, and download the Money for Dads Starter Kit for free. In the kit is the Money for Dads Amazing and Simple Budget Template, which auto-calculates everything. It's so easy to use. And you'll also get my 11 money-saving tips guaranteed to change your life. They're philosophies that I use that have helped me to stretch my family's income as much as I have. So if you like this podcast, then subscribe. And if you think that it could help somebody else, a friend of yours, share it with them. I'd love to be able to help more people. And even better, which would help get the word out even more about this podcast, give it a review and a rating. I read all reviews, and I'd love to hear how the podcast helps you. So go to your favorite podcast player, Apple Podcasts, Spotify, whichever one you use, and give it a review and a rating now. The more reviews that I have, the more we can share these ideas with the world, build the Money for Dads community, and help more dads spend more time with their families. Also, if you write a review, I'll probably give it a shout out on a future podcast. Thanks again for listening, and have an awesome rest of the day.